Welcome to The Bountiful Yogi, a podcast where soul meets practice and where we explore what it means to live, lead, and love from a place of deep alignment. I'm Heather, and I created this space as part of Sea Life as a Muse, a home for storytelling, healing, and embodiment for those who feel deeply and live with intention. These episodes are meant to be short and digestible, little pockets of wisdom to carry with you throughout your day. And if you'd like to go deeper, you can always visit the blog that inspired this episode at www.sealifeasamuse.com. Before we begin, I'd love to invite you to share your reflections. If something in this episode resonates, I'd be so grateful if you'd like, share, or leave a comment. Your words help others find this work, and they help nurture a community rooted in awareness, compassion, and growth. Whether you're a seeker, a healer, a teacher, a creative, or simply someone navigating the world with an open heart, I'm so glad you're here. And if you're returning, welcome back. Let's take a breath together and begin. I want to begin by saying something a little vulnerable. I have been on this healing journey for a long time, and even now, things still surface. Patterns I thought I outgrew find their way back. Emotional reactions I thought I had moved past show up at unexpected moments, and sometimes I have to look at myself with a lot of gentleness and ask, where is this coming from? What is being touched in me right now? Healing is not about never feeling things again. Healing is learning how to stay with yourself when the feeling comes. And it gets even more complicated when you are trying to heal in the same kinds of environments where the pain began, or around people who have the same personality traits as the person who hurt you. For some of us, the hardest part is that our healing isn't happening in a sanctuary. It's happening in real time, in real life, surrounded by people and situations that mirror old wounds. Maybe someone's tone of voice reminds you of someone you used to shrink around. Maybe their intensity, their dismissal, or their defensiveness hits your nervous system before your mind even has time to think. Your heart starts racing, your chest tightens, your breath shortens. Your body remembers even when your mind says, but that was years ago. Your nervous system remembers what it learned to do to survive. This is why healing can feel slow, because it is not about knowing better. It's about retraining what your body believes is safe. And triggers aren't always emotional or relational. They can be sensory, a sound, a seasonal shift, a room layout, a certain kind of silence, or a smell. For the longest time, I could not be around a particular cologne. The moment I smelled it, my whole body went into flight mode. I didn't think, I didn't reflect, I didn't breathe, I just wanted out. It was like my cells were remembering something my mind was exhausted from carrying. This is the part of healing no one prepares us for. Your body heals in layers, and it will only release what it believes you are now safe enough to feel. And there is another reason healing feels slow. Sometimes we tell ourselves we aren't ready because the timing isn't right. When life calms down, then I'll deal with this. When I feel more stable, then I'll work through it. When I'm stronger, when I'm less emotional, when I have more support. And sometimes that is true. The body really does wait for safety. But sometimes I'm not ready is fear wearing the mask of timing. Sometimes what we really mean is, I'm afraid to feel this. I don't trust myself to hold what might come up. I worry I won't survive the memory or the emotion. And that makes sense because the first time this pain happened, you didn't have the capacity you have now. But healing doesn't begin when life becomes perfect. Healing begins when you say, I can take one step even while things are still messy. Now, let's talk about the moment where you've been doing the work, journaling, breathing, reflecting, choosing better, and something old rises up anyway. You react, or you shut down, or you feel overwhelmed, and the voice comes in. Why is this still happening? I should be past this. I thought I was done with this. And that moment can feel discouraging. It can feel like failure. But you're not discouraged because you're failing. You're discouraged because you care. because you are still in the work. Your healing is still alive. The resurfacing of pain doesn't mean you're back at the beginning. It means your body trusts you enough to go deeper now. That is not regression. That is readiness. Now let's talk about comparison, because comparison is often where pain turns into shame. We look at someone else's progress and think, why am I not there yet? But we're comparing our inside to their outside, our becoming to their already arrived, our chapter today to their chapter 20. Comparison collapses compassion. And when compassion disappears, shame steps in. Shame says, you're behind, you're failing, you're too much, you're not enough. But shame is not truth. Shame is just a nervous system trying to protect you by shrinking you. The real question is not, how do I make sure I never get triggered again? The real question is, how do I stay with myself when the trigger comes? Because that is healing. Healing begins when you stop abandoning yourself in the middle of your own experience. When you say, I can feel this and still be worthy. I am allowed to be in process. I do not have to be perfect to be lovable. I am still becoming, and that is okay. Healing isn't a race. It is a relationship, the one you are building with yourself. And here is the beautiful thing about permission in healing. The more you give yourself permission to pause, to breathe, to step back, to rest, to not have answers yet, the more your body learns, oh, we don't have to run anymore. And then things begin to shift. The smell no longer sends you into panic. The tone no longer makes you shrink. The person who once held power over your nervous system no longer does. Because once you trust yourself, truly trust yourself, the world stops being a threat. Not because the world changed, but because you did. So as we close today, I don't want you to focus on progress. I don't want you to rank yourself. I don't want you to measure where you are compared to where you think you should be. I want you to remember this. You are allowed to be in the middle of your story. You are allowed to be unfinished. You are allowed to be tender. You are allowed to still be learning. You do not have to rush your healing. You just have to stay with yourself while it unfolds. You are already doing that simply by being here. If you'd like to stay for a moment longer, here is an optional mini meditation. You can place one hand on your heart and one on your belly. Let your breath move gently in and out, not to control the breath, but to meet it. If there is tension anywhere, soften it by just 5%. Not a full release, just a small letting go. And quietly, inside yourself, say, I am here. I am safe to feel this. I do not need to have the ending yet. Let your breath deepen, and when you're ready, release one long exhale, and let that be enough for now. Thank you for sharing this space with me. If this episode spoke to something in you, if it offered breath, clarity, or even just a single moment to exhale, I'd be so grateful if you'd like, share, or leave a comment. Your reflections help others find this work, and they remind me that these conversations matter. To go deeper, join the conversation on our free See Life as a Muse Discord, a supportive space for breathwork, reflection, and community. You can also follow See Life as a Muse on Substack or Blue Sky for weekly writings, tools, and gentle reminders. And if you'd like to stay connected through newsletters and course updates, visit www.seelifeasamuse.com to sign up. Until next time, stay bountiful. And always see life as a muse.